What's going on, everyone? It's Moment here, and I think Battlefield 6 might actually do it. It might actually make FPS great again.
I was just kidding! Come on! Come on! You guys know I was just kidding, right?
What I actually mean is that Battlefield 6 will change the FPS gaming landscape as we know it. With the Battlefield 6 beta surpassing Call of Duty in terms of all-time peak player count on Steam, this is a clear sign that EA came to play for keeps this time around. Some people would argue otherwise with how quote-unquote hard it fell off this week. Having played the beta myself and wrecking a lot of carnage on the battlefield with my fellow comrades in arms though, I wanted to talk about the pros and cons that I have with the game coming out of playing the beta and going into the next beta starting tomorrow. And to be honest, the cons are just nitpicks in my opinion with how good the beta was, but let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comments below with any of the points I make. Now let's start off with the pros. The biggest pro in my opinion is how the devs nailed that feeling where you can still be a hero on the battlefield without obsessing over your KD ratio. Too many of the FPS games I've played make me feel like an absolute pile of cow manure when I don't have a positive KD. But Battlefield 6 not only makes playing the objective feel great to do, it also promotes playing in whatever playstyle suits you and still be effective. Want to be an engineer and repair tanks and vehicles? Go for it. Want to be a medic and an absolute Chad on a battlefield pulling your comrades out of danger left and right? Go for it. Want to be a diabolical maniac throwing C4s onto your vehicle and driving straight onto a point captured by the enemy? Go for it. Even all of the guns I use in each class felt extremely valuable to use. Some, a little too viable.
Need help on B? Oh my god. Oh my god.
But the freedom of gameplay expression is clearly there and makes it so refreshing to play the game, versus other games where there is clearly a defined best class, character, gun, etc. Pro number 2 has got to be the amount of different mechanics that you can sink your teeth into in the game that aren't necessarily told to you, but add a lot more depth to the game. That will not only make you a better teammate, but a much better individual player as well. Mechanics like zeroing your sniper to adjust your sniper shot across different ranges, using suppressing fire on an enemy low on health, since suppress fire, even if it doesn't hit the enemy, will cause their health regen to stop occurring, which is huge. Or the class upgrades that you get throughout the course of a game that can completely change how you approach a fight. All of these mechanics and more add to the peakness of this game and make it feel like a truly next-gen game, capable of getting the attention of everybody in the FPS scene. Last pro I'm going to throw your way is the movement. This is going to be a short one, but I think they struck the right balance between feeling like you're moving at a good pace while not moving at breakneck speeds as if you're the Flash. It feels crispy, where it has the typical movement mechanics like vaulting, diving, and a slight bit of sliding that isn't too crazy, but also some movement features that I don't see in a lot of other FPS games, like sprinting while crouching. Though you do feel a little silly sprinting like that despite the tactical advantage it gives you. And it's grounded enough where movement doesn't entirely carry gunfights while still allowing you to utilize it to gain an advantage, and I'm all for that. Now that I've glazed the game enough, I'm going to move on to the cons. Honestly, like I said before, these cons are really just nitpicks since I pretty much loved everything about the open beta. But to address the elephant in the room, EA is the company publishing this game, which brings one burning question to the thoughts of many gamers. How are they going to implement the microtransactions? I didn't play Star Wars Battlefront 2 or Battlefield 2042 when they first launched, but hearing the absolute horror stories coming from the brave souls that did play these games on launch makes me slightly hesitant about the game's monetization schemes. Truth be told, it looks like they might have learned their lessons from Battlefront 2 and from the mistakes of COD in recent years, and will try their best to not lean into the Fortnite effect to make their game as cartoony as possible, while avoiding adding microtransactions that cost an arm and a leg to buy. Moving on to con number 2, the destructibility. Don't get me wrong, it was definitely there, and I was able to blow up a lot of parts of buildings and vehicles, but coming from the finals where concrete is essentially Play-Doh, I expected a little more destructibility from the game. I understand that some buildings need to stay up for the sake of cover, but I'm hoping that they have maps where a lot of the area is completely destructible. I don't know, there's something about leveling an entire building to just cement particles and rubble that makes me feel like a badass commando, and I just want more of that in Battlefield. Lastly, con number 3, the secure boot and cheating situation. I didn't see anyone I played, but there were apparently a decent amount of cheaters in the beta. So much so that tweets and clips exposing beta cheaters have been going viral, which is wild to me. Like, why cheat in a beta? Aren't we all just trying to have fun? There's literally nothing to gain. No rank, no prestige, nothing. Anyway, EA was very quick to take a lot of cheaters down with over 300,000 cheating attempts prevented, but it is slightly insane to me that we give these games kernel level access to our computers and we're still running into loads of cheaters. especially for people who never knew what their BIOS was, let alone never even touching their computer's BIOS before being required to in order to play Battlefield 6. At least it isn't the hardest thing in the world to do with EA's guide on how to do it. The guide will be linked in the description below if you haven't had the chance yet to enable secure boot before the second beta starting Thursday. And it seems like EA is looking out for us with their anti-cheat by telling us to uninstall Valorant if we haven't installed. Huge W, EA. It seems like EA and DICE are doing a good job looking at player feedback and addressing the issues that were reported during the first beta. I honestly feel like cheaters, especially in a beta for a game as popular as this one, we're gonna find ways to cheat no matter what. The next beta will be much more telling as to how EA is gonna handle cheaters in the future, but as long as it isn't rampant and most of the blatant and egregious cheaters are being shipped off to the gulag, expect to see me on the battlefield. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts. I also stream on Twitch and YouTube almost every day, so if you want to check them out, links are in the description below. Alright, that's it for me. Stay safe. Mama out. Peace!